So, really an interesting game there. The thing that I just talked to the guys about in the locker room, as I appreciated how those guys went out and played today. I think you could really see the heart and the respect for the game that they showed, the respect for their teammates that they showed. And you could go all the way down to, the goal line stand that our defense had. I mean, just kind of, we had different guys in there in situations with other players going down, skippers in there, and offensive linemen's playing in there for the defensive line. A couple of defensive ends had to go in and play inside. To get the stop was great. And unfortunately we got that call, put them back in there again, and to stop them on the next play, just showed all the fight that those guys had. We had a lot of guys even on offense. The right tackle went down, left guard went down. But the guys that stepped up were ready to play and did a really nice job. So just proud of the effort that those guys showed today.
Mike O'Hara.
Thanks, Coach. Just getting unmuted here. What sort of emotions do you have? This has got to be an unusual time for you. Do you know not certain what you're walking away from or walking to? Could you just give us a little bit of insight in how do you feel right now?
Yeah, right now I'm actually proud of what we just displayed on the field. We were shorthanded in a lot of ways, and the guys that went in there in the game, I mean, they gave everything they had for the game, for their teammates. So I think that's what I'm feeling right now. Just, proud of what those guys did. I mean, it was a hard fought game, and guys stepped up in many ways. I know it wasn't good enough. We did not win the game, which is always the goal. But, some of the shorthandedness and guys just continue to step up and continue to fight, really meant a lot to me.
And just real quick, you've mentioned respect for the game numerous times. Is that what you feel today?
Yeah, I've told these guys how much I love this game, how much I respect it. And, I think it says a lot for you to go out there and, in situations, as, you guys might say is meaningless, but, there's a lot of history to this game. There's a lot of people that have been on the field before us, and, and to go out and to play continually for one another as hard as they did the whole game long. I think it speaks a lot to these guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Larry.
What explanation did you get on the roughing the passer call, and what was your viewpoint of BB's touchdown, where it looked like a couple of your guys could have got him and one kind of stood there?
So the first part of the question, the explanation was body weight, and that, that he came down on him with his full body weight, which, I want to take a look at it. I'm not quite sure that happened. I felt that he tried to roll over the top of him as he put him down. And then the second part of your question was what?
BB's touchdown. You had a couple guys hit him, and then Darrell just kind of stood there like he thought his teammates were going to tackle him, and, wasn't a good look. I'm sure.
Is this at the end of the half?
I'm sorry?
At the end of the half is what you're referring to, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. I mean, just a terrible misplayed play. I thought we were handling it correctly. We knew, one more play, we felt they were going to try to throw it to the sideline, had the sideline defense, catch him, tackle it. Instead of tackling and wrapping him up, the guys went for, really trying to kill him and, knock him out of bounds. And, it's just not fundamental ball there. We got to do a better job of wrapping him up.
Dave.
Does that play sort of encapsulate what's gone wrong with the defense all season? I mean, poor tackling, people sort of maybe not being on their P's and Q's. You had a chance to get off the field. You didn't there. It just seemed like that was really what happened all year long on that side of the ball.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to put it all in encapsulating in one play, but definitely, Dave, that was not a good play on our part. And we talk about fundamentals all the time, and that's a fundamental play in terms of, being in the right defense. But then you have to make that play. I mean, you can't let that guy get out like that. You got to be able to make the tackle. You can't go for those kill shots or whatever, or think that somebody else is going to make the play. You got to wrap them up and get him to the ground.
As you look at sort of what went wrong on the whole this year, I know you don't want to put any blame just on one unit, but how much would just solving some of this team's defensive issues make you guys a better team in 2021?
Well, I mean, there's definitely places all around, Dave, that we can get better at. And I mean, we'll look at the defense, somebody else is probably going to be looking at it, but that is definitely a place that needs to improve.
You said somebody else could be looking at it. Do you know if you will interview for the head coaching job yet?
We'll find out soon.
Okay. And then last thing, you talked a little bit about Stafford, but just his guttiness to get out there today with all the injuries that he's dealing with and play as well as he did. I know he had the one pick, but he had a pretty good game
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah. He, it's a cool relationship to have with the quarterback, and I really appreciate what he did. I mean, the guy's out there, not 100%, and he's fighting for his teammates. He's fighting for like I said, he talked to the team last night, and just the respect for the game, the history, the guys that have come before us. And, the guy's laying everything out there on the line in a game that he doesn't need to. And I think that says a lot about him as a person, about him as a quarterback, what he means to the team. I could sit here and talk to you for a while about him, but I really appreciate what he has done for me and for this team.
That was him delivering a message to the team, like in the team meeting. He said that.
Yes.
Thank you, Darrell.
Yep.
All right, guys, 2 more. Justin, go ahead.
Darrell, I think we saw your fingerprints on the offense after you took over in the interim role. I was just wondering, how difficult was it to similarly put your fingerprints on the defense, given your focus to taking that position through the end of the season?
Yeah. I think, Justin, it's, I guess I'll answer it this way. I just wanted to have my fingerprint on the team, and, offense, defense, especially wherever it was. I think, what I would like you to look at is the games that I was involved in, how they played, and, the enthusiasm that they played with, the heart that they played with. Obviously there's positions, obviously, that, we're going to evaluate and try to upgrade and, all those things, because that happens every year, turnover in the league. But it's one thing to lay down and not finish the season, and it's another thing to play your heart out all the way to the last play. And that was really my main focus, because there wasn't a lot that I was going to be able to do with other parts. And I think I got that.
And then with Marvin Jones's performance, end of a contract, you don't know what's next for him either. How much was it a point of emphasis to have him involved in the game plan as much as he was? And what did you think about the performance overall?
Yeah, I don't know what he ended up with. I think he was, I know he had needed like a couple hundred yards to 1,000. And, I love what Marvin has done for us. Great personality. Really he comes out every single day. He practices hard. He works at his craft. And, again, he's another one of those guys that loves to play the game. And I think it showed, he showed his ability today. Did I want to give him the ball? Yeah. But, Matthew's got to read it. And, sometimes he's the first read, sometimes he's the second read, and you got to go through your progressions. But, he's definitely always in that progression in the earlier stages of it, trying to get him the ball, because he makes big plays for us.
Thank you, Bev.
All right, last one, Mike Rothstein.
Hey, Bev, how are you? At the beginning of the season, or not beginning of the season, right before you took this job, you said you were chasing head coaching jobs for a while, and this was your opportunity. When you look at it now, do you feel like you showed enough, whether it's here or elsewhere next year, year after, that you feel like you can be a full-time head coach? Like, do you feel like this was a good audition process for you?
Mike, it's a hard thing to say. I've enjoyed the role. I've learned a lot in this role. And, I told you, I've loved every minute of it. And, but it's not for me to evaluate. I think it's for the other people to evaluate. Do I think I can handle this role? Absolutely. Do I feel confident in this role? Absolutely. Do I want to do it? Absolutely. But, the opportunity's got to come. But again, like I think I'll go back to, my statement earlier is just, I just want you to look at the guys on how they played, who we have, how they played, the effort with what they showed. And, that's going to speak to really, like, as a head coach, like how the team plays for you, how they handle the game. And I'll let it speak for itself.
And I know Kenny obviously didn't play today. He didn't play the last, majority of the season. What did this offense really miss without him out there?
Well, obviously you miss his big playability, you miss his size, you miss his catch radius, you miss his presence, just in terms of having that, the big dog, and, then it helps the other guys in part of your offense. But, we didn't have it for most of the year. So it was, you have to adjust, you have to go to, to do other things. And I thought our guys stepped up and really did a good job for that.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Darrell.
Yep.
Thanks, Bev.
Thank you. Appreciate it.